This is Pallavi, that Desi girl, and today I'm taking you inside my kitchen. Ever since I got married, it's been an endless run of learning how to cook pastas and sandwiches and more pastas and basically every kind of continental food that you can imagine, or European food, because my husband, as you know, is a globetrotter. Not that he doesn't like Indian food, but he likes a lot of variety in the food. So over the past 2 years, I've learned so much that it's quite amazing. So today I'm sharing with you one of our favorite recipes. The first and foremost thing is the pasta. So this one is by Del Monte, the Kefir Rigatati. This pasta is a tubular pasta with an elbow bent like that of a macaroni, but it's slightly larger in size. It tastes amazing in soups, or you could use it as a substitute for macaroni and mac and cheese, which is also great. But today we're going to be cooking it into a white sauce with two key vegetables, which are mushrooms. So we're going to be using about 375 grams of this pasta and about 4 cups of mushroom for that, and 1 cup of packed spinach. We've used fresh spinach here, not the frozen variety. And we'd also be using a little basil with it, fresh basil. In case you do not find fresh basil easily in your place, you can easily go in for the dried variety. The dried basil also works wonderfully well. And if you do not find that, also opt for holy basil. So holy basil is a little different tasting than fresh basil, so if you're opting for that, make sure that you're only using about a fourth of how much we use here, because it has a much more stronger flavor. It's also a little more bitter, and so you just don't want it to come across. And it's best to use it only in the sauce and skip it in the recipe. We'd be adding a few leaves with our vegetables, but you do not need to use that. So we'd be cooking these vegetables in a little olive oil and with a little salt and pepper to garnish it. For making the sauce, we need about 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of maida, that's all-purpose flour, salt, pepper, and we're going to be throwing in an interesting thing, which is we're going to be adding a little bit of cheese. So we are adding a mix of mozzarella and cheddar today to add a little flavor to the sauce. Adding a little mozzarella does add a little bit of, stringiness, a little dimension, which works great. Also, we'd be adding in a little spice, that is nutmeg or jaifal. So it gives a nice little aroma and it is fantastic. Takes the entire pasta dish to the next level. So all you have to do is take a full nutmeg and grate it a little bit, and you have to use just about 3 big pinches, and that's all you need. So let's get going. So first off, I have boiled 2 liters of water here, which is all I need for my pasta. And first thing I'm going to be doing is throwing the pasta in to boil. And for that, once the water is boiling, I'll be adding a little bit of salt and about half a tablespoon of olive oil in it, just so the pasta doesn't stick together while it is cooking, and then put the pasta in. It would be cooked in about 8 to 10 minutes, and we'll be getting cracking at our vegetables in the meanwhile. I have my olive oil right here, and I'll be adding about a tablespoon of olive oil into this. So olive oil heats up really quickly, and once it's hot, I'm adding my mushrooms to it. And bring the flame down to medium. You're going to cook the mushrooms for only about 2 minutes in there. See how quickly they start getting cooked. And to this, add your cleaned and chopped up spinach leaves. So you do not want these veggies to be overcooked or wilted, so you've got to be very sure that it's not too hot, A, and B, you do not overcook it. After putting the spinach in, you only need to go for about 2 minutes, a minute, depends on how fresh your spinach is really. So I'm going to be adding 2 basil leaves here. I'm just going to shred them roughly and throw them in it. And now I'm going to be adding a little bit of salt to it. You do not want to add too much at this stage. And once your vegetables are cooked, you just take them off the flame and keep them separately. So now our pasta is in to cook, and it would take about 8 to 10 minutes to be cooked completely. It's time to get on with the sauce. So I have about 4 tablespoons of butter in here that I'm gonna put inside the heated pan. So as the butter melts away, add your basil leaves into it. Now you want to add your maida to it to make into a paste. Now, once you've put it in, you need to move it around. It cannot get burnt. You can't let it get burnt. You can't let it stay for long. It's best if you use a non-stick pan for this. I find it the easiest to not burn things. But even so, you got to keep on moving things around. You need to coat the maida with the butter and basil paste completely. I wish I could just eat it like this, but that is not a possibility. For now, we have to add our milk to this paste. And now you're gonna move it very swiftly. You have to make sure that no lumps are formed. Just keep on moving this thing and bring it to boil. If this was a makeup video, I would be saying blend, 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 blend is your friend, but this is not. But essentially, that is exactly what you're doing. So you can see it is getting thickened right here. So you'd be adding your second cup of milk just about now. Who loves some pasta? I do. Here is my nutmeg, and it goes in right about now. I love the flavor of nutmeg. Do you know nutmeg is really great for your skin as well? If your skin is breaking out, or if you have any skin issues really, just use a powder or paste of nutmeg powder and rose water on your face. Apply it, let it be there for like 20 minutes and then wash off with plain water. You'd have skin smooth as Hema Malini very soon. And there goes the salt and pepper in. We had taken a combination of cheddar and mozzarella in here, and we're going to be using a third cheese, Parmesan, on top of things to sprinkle it right before we serve it out. So I've been cooking the entire sauce on low heat. See, it's nice and bubbly and creamy and consistent. So we're just gonna add in the vegetables that we had pre-cooked. After adding the vegetables in, just add it all together, and that's all you need. The longer you keep it on the flame, the thicker and thicker it gets. So this is it for us. Once your pasta is cooked, you just need to get it into the colander, and you want to pour some cold water on top of it. Throw the pasta in and mix it all in, and now you're ready to plate up. And finally, once your plate is ready, you want to just sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan on top. Parmesan is my favorite test cheese ever. And a little bit more for luck. And that's a cheesy mushroom spinach pasta ready for consumption. Yay! Attack! Bubble, bubble, boil and trouble, something wicked this way comes.